I'm sure you've heard the saying that you can have something good, quick, or cheap, and you can only pick two of those. Well, I think that saying also applies to cars, and here's my proof. This blue beauty next to me is the Mercedes-Benz AMG GLE 63S Coupe. Yeah, that is a mouthful to spit out, but I gotta say, I don't mind it one bit because it is a great car that is really quick, and as you might imagine, not very cheap. You see, the AMG GLE 63 is among the nicest and quickest cars I've ever driven. It has a luxurious interior draped with carbon fiber, a spacious crossover-styled body, and a bi-turbo V8 engine that puts out just over 600 horsepower. As far as the price, well, we'll discuss that in a few minutes. And because it's a Mercedes-Benz, of course, you get all the comfort and luxury that you would expect. So let's take a look around this vehicle, starting with the exterior. Despite this being the GLE 63S Coupe, I mean, who are we kidding here? This is a crossover SUV. It's got 4 full-size doors, a hatch in the back, and this really sleek, swept-back look from front to back. The AMG GLE 63S Coupe is damn sexy in the front. It's got this massive Mercedes logo hiding adaptive cruise control equipment, this big blacked out grille, and this racing kind of look motif here in the front. It's got multi-beam LED headlamps, and of course you can't forget the AMG logo. And then feast your eyes on these bad boys. These are 22-inch wheels covering massive drilled and slotted rotors with really big calipers, and of course the AMG logo on the rims. The sleek, sexy look continues all the way here to the back. These LED tail lamps have some really nice accents on them, and this blue, called Brilliant Blue Metallic, is absolutely stunning in person. The rear hatch opens almost the rear 1/3 of the vehicle, and the button is hidden in the Mercedes logo. My only complaint about this exterior form factor, and it's a small one, is that even when the seats are in their lowest position, you kind of have to duck to get inside. Inside the AMG GLE 63S, the name of the game is technology, technology, technology. I mean, this thing has every feature that you could possibly imagine being available on a car. It would almost be easier for me to tell you what you couldn't find than what you can, because the list goes on and on and on. We've got a massive gauge cluster up here that extends into a touchscreen infotainment system with a touchpad and controls on the steering wheel. Speaking of the steering wheel, it's got carbon fiber accents, suede leather, a flat bottom, and even these 2 little display screens that you can read out the suspension changes and adjust them on. It's absolutely ridiculous. The seats are heated and cooled, they massage, and there's a $5,000 Burmester speaker audio system in this thing with engraved grills on the speakers. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. You almost get overwhelmed. I mean, even the armrests are heated. Everywhere you look, Mercedes has remembered the details. Every touch point is either real metal, real leather, or real carbon fiber. There's no cheap plastics or otherwise scratchable or inexpensive materials to be found anywhere. From the machine switches and rollers on the steering wheel, to the piano key style switches on the center console, to the quilted leather surface on the seats, there is nothing in this Mercedes that looks inexpensive or cheap. Like the rest of the vehicle, the performance of the AMG GLE 63S Coupe is a combination of a bunch of technologies and features thrown into it, and it's most noticeable when you hit the throttle, it just it moves. It's incredible for a full, big crossover SUV with a lot of room inside to be able to get up and go. And that is because of its 4-liter bi-turbo V8 that puts out around 603 horsepower and 620 something pound-feet of torque. Interestingly enough, it's also a mild hybrid. There's a starter motor alternator between the engine and the transmission that fills in that torque band while the engine is waiting for the turbos to spool up. Suspension-wise, this vehicle is also extremely impressive. We've got adjustable shocks all the way around, including adjustable ride height, and all these different features, including the way the engine shifts, how loud the exhaust is, and what kind of traction control and stability control you have are almost infinitely adjustable. You can really customize the ride in this vehicle and how it reacts to you down to the individual feature, which I guess I shouldn't expect anything less from a Mercedes. So we've got an extremely powerful V8 engine combined with an extremely customizable vehicle dynamics package. And that equates to something that is truly special. Not only can you turn a dial on the steering wheel and float down the road in comfort, but you can push a few buttons and be hightailing it with paddle shifters and a screaming V8 for all the fun you'd ever want and not get pulled over for. I have not driven a vehicle in my life that has this much of a dynamic range, and I gotta tell you, it's gonna be really hard to give this back because it's so much fun. The steering wheel is crisp and tight. The engine response is just on point. It sounds amazing. The vehicle responds to every little input I give it, and it's one of the most satisfying vehicles that I've ever driven in my entire life. But for all of that style, luxury, and performance, you better get ready to pay up. Now, I've got the window sticker right here for this vehicle. What do you think this AMG GLE 63S Coupe costs? Why don't you make a comment down below and give me your prediction. Now that you're ready, let's get started. The base price on this vehicle is $116,000, but wait, there's more. When you add in such options like the AMG drive unit steering wheel displays, the driver assistant package that includes the adaptive cruise control, the warmth and comfort package, which is the heated and massaging seats, and the $4,500 Burmester speaker system, you get a sticker price for this vehicle of just under $134,000. And as far as I'm concerned, this vehicle is worth every penny of that six-figure sticker. And you know what? In my honest opinion, I've never driven a luxury vehicle that was so comfortable, aside from a $500,000 Rolls Royce, but even a Rolls Royce couldn't handle like the AMG GLE 63S Coupe. Not even close. The equation for this vehicle is clear. AMG threw every bit of technology and performance that they could at the GLE 63S Coupe, and it shows. It's the perfect combination of luxury and power, and an amazing flex for the affluent who can actually afford a vehicle they can drive all year round, from work to home to play, and then take it on the weekend for track days. So as it turns out, the Mercedes-Benz AMG GLE 63S Coupe is really, really good. It's also extremely quick and not exactly cheap, but that's 2 out of 3 that I'll take any day of the year. I'm Zane from Drive Them All, and I'll see you next time.